Hi, and welcome to another of my World of Tanks videos, and today you're going to see two novelties on this channel. First, I'm going to feature a battle where I did not participate, and second, we're going to see it from the perspective of two players. That's going to be Glueman and Leendeng from TEC, so my clan, and this battle is the Platoon of the Month winner for December 2017. They're both playing in the T10, Russian heavy tank. Bit of a hybrid. You can see the lower plate weak spot in the front here. So the armor isn't really thick for a heavy tank, but still trolly as it's Russian. But on the other hand, the tank has a pretty decent mobility for a heavy tank, and the gun is just great. And I really would like to have this gun on my IS-7 that is packing a worse gun in every single aspect except alpha damage. And we're going to watch from Leendeng's perspective now, who was a bit hesitant to send in the replay, and you'll see later, but I'll discuss when it's that far. So he makes actually the first interesting moves, and he's trying to land in some sneaky shots on enemy tanks crossing there. That's, by the way, where you take the safe route when you go there. Unfortunately, he just lands crit instead of doing damage. And now he's following Glueman, and they both go to the point where heavy tanks go on this map and look for some targets. Since the T10 has, I still want to say IS-8, has pretty mediocre gun depression, it's actually better to fight here than on the RAM. And yeah, so now the battle is a bit slow. They're trying to find their shots. Glueman is doing something very nice though, by the way. Reverse side scraping can sometimes work better than usual side scraping, since your front armor isn't good anyway, or great anyway, and the turret is pretty much front mounted, so you can sometimes hide the back of your turret and side scrape with the tracks, what is very efficient in Russian tanks. Yeah, so they are looking for shots, not with too much luck at the moment. That's, you know, how this battle on the map usually develops. Leendeng spotted a target there, waiting for him to reappear. Yeah, another non-damaging hit. Now it gets more interesting. And they start to work on a pair of E100s down there. While Leendeng is still doing crits. Now that should change. Not yet. Yeah, there you could see Glueman's gun. But now they really start to work on these E100s. And yeah, definitely thing you have to do in that situation. Load heat and go through the turret of the E100 if he's so friendly to give you the cheeks. And they both landed the first hit there. And Leendeng is able to finish the E100 off, and yeah, gets pushed by the Type 4. And now the reason I mentioned before, he's getting a bit salty, but on the bright side, he sees that IS-7 flanking there. And now they do a master team move and engage that guy, and boom, boom, IS-7 gone. Now, while Glueman takes an eye on the back door, Leendeng is looking for opportunities at their initial position again, and manages to finish off that T10, but unfortunately the Type 4 blocks him again, and he takes a nasty hit, so you can definitely understand why he's a bit salty now, and why I would recommend to try not to use words like homo anymore. You can definitely understand why he's a bit salty. And that Type 4 just proves to be a major dick by pushing him around. But Leendeng does the right thing and doesn't go harder into this waste of time. And we're going to watch what Glueman did after finishing off that I7 now. And as I said, he's keeping an eye on their back, since they're mobile tanks, object 907, and a Mang is 3090 going around. Unfortunately, he didn't really have the time to aim there. Not yet. Tries to blind fire that guy there in the back. Doesn't look like a hit. It would have been really nice to be loaded now to slam a shell into that light tank. But yeah, he's attempting to make a flank move now to take a bit of the pressure away from Leendeng and these two other heavy tanks there. And that's a nice flanking position. And he lands a shell. Unfortunately, 907 still is there. And it's very hard to get safe shots there. So he's a bit surrounded now and a bit out of friends. So unfortunately, looks like Glueman overpushed a bit. Trying to make the best of it, but the Type 4 is coming over. He's trying to get away, trying to slam a shot into the light, but hits the tracks, does no damage, and the Type 4 lands a very lucky hit into his back, setting fire and kills him off. So unfortunately Glueman is out, and we'll have to do what Leendeng is doing for the rest of the battle. First, well, Glueman is fighting on the other side, and after that Type 4 pushed him around, he found the opportunity to land a big hit into that 907. Fortunately, it doesn't work for a second time, and is able to engage that Type 4 that finished off Glueman moments ago, and tries to protect their back. Unfortunately, the first shell bounced off the side on a bad angle, but the second shell definitely better hit. Now they're very much pincered there, and unfortunately Type 4 HE shells really hurt, as this Panzerkampfwagen 7 is just going to find out. But Leendeng uses this opportunity very well. He charges in, auto aims to be able to focus on the driving, and slams the shell onto the side of the Type 4. Getting sides of these Japanese super heavies also very nice. They have problems with their gun depression and their height. He's just able to dodge below the shot of the Type 4 and completely outplace this guy. Gets around again and gets the flat surface angle towards him. So that immediate threat is taken care of. Unfortunately, he's pretty lone out here, trying to land a shot on the object, but unfortunately the gun of the disconnected M103 and killed M103 blocks his shell. Don't know how often that happened to me on a killer shot. It's really annoying, and he takes a nasty hit from the T10 and is now reduced to one shot. And we're going to see if he's able to get out of this tricky situation. Fortunately, he lands a nice hit below the gun of the Type 4 into the T10. But now he's still in a pretty tricky situation. That looks like a very nasty E100 there, very close to him. The medium is threatening the S-Tank and the AMX 3090. That must be the Object 907 that he was fighting earlier. So he's just trying to assess the situation, figure out what to do. No shot on the Object 907 that's running away, but that might be an opportunity. So he's going around to engage that E100. Since they're down to 2 tanks now, you have to be aggressive. You need to use the opportunities you have to take out enemies, or you'll get surrounded. But he just manages to pen the E100 through the turret front. On that distance, with the T10, maybe a 50-50 roll. As I said, the gun is pretty nice. And he's now trying to figure out what to do next, assessing the situation. Looking for a chance to shoot the T30, while that 3090 provides him with very useful information that that Tier 9 Batchet is gladly on very low HP. And yeah, he's carefully probing, using the wreck as extra front armor, figuring out if he's getting spotted. And slowly pushing on. And then the Batchet gets spotted pressuring his S-tank, and he really needs to help that guy. So he's charging in towards the Batchet, down that ramp. Here the mobility comes in handy of the T10. It's not one of these slow, fat, extremely slumbering heavy tanks. So he's checking his left, if there's any trace of the 907. Goes up and finish off the Batchet and there's the 907. However he got there. So he's trying to get around. And now they just run into each other. Both bonked the shot. Both were flex shots. He fired a bit earlier, both did no damage, and here he's doing the first slight misplay, but that's hard judgment since he's under a lot of pressure now. He should have loaded H either. If he aimed that carefully, it probably would have been enough. Bounces another shell, but the S-tank returns the favor, and now kills off the 907 before it can kill Leendeng. And now it doesn't look that bad anymore, it's just that T30 left. So the smart thing to do now is to attack the T30 together, and they're even coordinating and discussing it a bit. How to engage him best. And while Leendeng is climbing up the ramp here, you can see that the S-tank is coming from the right, so they have 2 different angles. And there is the T30. And I checked that earlier. Gladly, that T30 is looking at Leendeng and just turning towards the S-tank now. S-tank lands a shot. T30 screws his shot, Leendeng lands his shot. And now they're just playing it safe to the end. And there it is. Battle won. A battle that looked very, very bad around when Glueman went down. And as we can see, Glueman did quite alright for a battle in the worst possible matchup and a situation where they got pretty much surrounded. He still did 2k damage and got a kill. Leendeng, on the other hand, had a pretty nice battle with almost 5k damage, an ace tanker, top gun, even 7 kills, and stayed very calm there under pressure. And with this I would like to close my video and hope that you enjoyed this new format on the channel.